Noel Edmonds like to ask the question, deal or no deal, but on Fog Football, we're going to ask a different question today, and that is goal or no goal. Welcome back, guys, to the channel. Rangers have defeated St Johnstone by 2-0, but everybody is talking about the first goal, the opening goal, the only goal that really matters, the controversial goal. A lot of people have had their opinion on it. One man in particular is furious, that being Richard Foster, the former St Johnstone and Rangers defender, and he's actually blasted the SFA. He's come out and called them liars. He's saying that the SFA are lying about the statement that they made for the match today, saying that the referee clearly communicated what he was doing. He said that is all lies. He believes the goal should not have stood. We've also got some words from Marvin Bartley, Craig Levein, Philippe Clement, Neil McCann, and also Cyril Dessers. And we've got Big Stevie Cool back with audio that doesn't sound like complete shit.
I'm back. It's better than all those other names put together. But yeah, I'm intrigued. I've kind of been radio silent the past few hours, and now all of a sudden all this drama's been whipped up here, so I'm intrigued to dive in.
I notice every time something controversial happens or Rangers get beat, you seem to go AWOL. Is that a coincidence or?
Well, I mean, it seems to happen every week because Rangers are shite, so I mean, you look at it every way you want. I'm here now.
You're here now, and that's what matters. So, pundits Neil McCann, Marvin Bartley, Michael Stewart, they've all criticised the decision. Richard Foster is not happy with the SFA. The SFA released a statement, and the BBC published the statement saying, and this is what the statement said, it said, quote, "The whistle is blown after the goal is scored. The referee clearly communicates that he is going to award a foul after the goal is scored," end of quote. Now that was a statement from the SFA. They're saying the whistle was blown after the goal was scored. The referee clearly communicates that he is going to award a foul after the goal is scored. So they are suggesting that there was no communication from the referee that he was going to award a foul until after the goal was scored. Do you agree with that?
I agree with that. Well, I mean, on first viewing and when I initially watched it, it looked that way. But with the hours passing and apparently the whistle got blown just as Dessers cut in, faint or not, I mean, I think you've got to side with everyone who's calling it out. Now, I for one was watching the stream or the match on a very low volume, so I didn't really tell when he blew the whistle, but I doubt Levein, McCann, Foster, they're not plucking this out of thin air. You've got some Rangers men, you've got some not so Rangers men. At the end of the day, this sounds more like an SFA. Well, it doesn't sound like it is. It's an SFA fuck up. People can say Rangers cheated, but at the end of the day, this is the referee's fault, right? And that's it. It's a mess. It's the incompetence of the SFA yet again.
Yeah, agreed. Now, Craig Levein spoke straight after the match, and this is what he had to first say about the incident. This is before he knew anything about an SFA statement. Craig Levein says, quote, talking about the referee here, quote, "If he indicates it's a free kick for us, which he did, and everybody's looking at him, and then he stops, that's a mistake on his part. I don't know what excuse they're going to come up with, but I'd just love them to hold their hands up and say, look, I'm sorry, we got that wrong," end of quote. So, I mean, Craig Levein pretty much expecting something along the lines of what the SFA delivered. He's expecting an excuse, and it seems like at this point, all he wanted was just some honesty, and for the SFA to go, look, we got it wrong, or that could have been clearer, that's on us type of deal. But the SFA didn't do that. They've pretty much come out and they've been adamant that there is no controversy here.
Yeah, fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on you. Craig Levein's right. You know what? But this is the SFA's right. If they just came out and admitted that they got it wrong, you would be able to accept it. I mean, we're not talking about a goal that made it go 4-0 to Rangers. We're talking about a game-defining goal because, yeah, they won 2-0, but, you know, that changes the game. Rangers didn't make it 2-0 to very late on. 1-0 about, what was it, the 60th minute? If that game stays at 0-0, the few fans that were in Hampden, that would have turned so much more toxic. Good goal for Dessers, but they've got it wrong. Just admit it.
Yeah.
We've seen them in the past come out and admit things, but they're not going to admit this.
Now, Craig Levein also said that he's been told certain things by an official and that he can't repeat it and he can't say what he wants to say, or else he will get in trouble and he will get another fine. But one man that is not afraid of getting in trouble appears to be Richard Foster in the Premier Sports studio. He said this following the statement, following Craig Levein's words, and then the statement from the SFA, which was read out on the show. Richard Foster says, quote, "Lies. It's a lie. Unless he puts the whistle to his mouth for no reason. As Neil McCann says, he puts it to his mouth and blows it before Dessers even chops inside." End of quote. So, Richard Foster saying that they're lying. He said the SFA are straight up lying, that the referee would not put the whistle in his mouth for no reason, and he's claiming that it was blown before Dessers even chops inside. Now, Craig Levein has also come out and said that his players have said that the whistle was blown. Some of them said it was blown, some of them said they couldn't hear it. Craig Levein's saying it's hard to hear it, but we've got multiple people, and not just St Johnstone players, we've got neutrals like Richard Foster say, and Neil McCann. Well, Richard Foster's claiming Neil McCann said it, that the referee blew his whistle before Dessers even chopped inside. So you can see where Foster's coming from here, because the SFA statement suggests that the referee done absolutely nothing to indicate there may have been a foul until the ball went in the back of the net, but we can clearly see that's not true.
Yeah, we can clearly see that, because at the end of the day, the referee is pointing, allegedly, as we've seen, to the spot where the free kick he was going to give. But the SFA is just liars. And what I think would be good here is if Philippe Clement, who was definitely on the wrong end of the decision on Tuesday, if he came out and actually acknowledged this. Now, we're going to hear from Philippe Clement. Did he? Did he come out and acknowledge this, or is he blanking it?
Well, before we hear from Philippe Clement, let's hear from Richard Foster's pundit colleague, Marvin Bartley, who was also on Premier Sports duty, and he said, quote, "That for me is a problem. Whether he says he blew the whistle after or he didn't, the fact he puts his hands out and indicates a free kick is given, sometimes as a player, when you're out there and it's loud, you can't hear the whistle. He's pointing as if he's given a foul, so for me, he's made a mistake, regardless of what they come out and say. If he says I didn't blow my whistle, he's indicated to the players out there that he's given a foul. From a Rangers point of view, it was the right decision in the end. He should have let it play on and blown the whistle after. But he's indicating that he's given the foul, and that's the reason why St Johnstone will be very upset with that first goal." End of quote. So Marvin Bartley basically saying, look, Rangers have scored a perfectly good goal. Rangers haven't done anything wrong here. The wrongdoing is on the referee's behalf for indicating that he's gave a foul, and that has led to St Johnstone players essentially down in tools and leading to the goal. And I don't think you can disagree with anything Marvin Bartley said there.
No, you can't. It's not Rangers' fault. St Johnstone players, we've seen it before where this incident can happen. You know, you remember Rangers against Partick Thistle about a year and a half ago? The exact same thing happened with Tillman. He didn't hear the whistle, but he played on thinking, because you actually have to give the ball back, and then what did Rangers do? Rangers actually, under Beale, let Partick Thistle score the goal afterwards, which obviously pissed off a lot of Rangers fans, the fact that Beale did that. Rangers won the game in the end, but I don't think it was as clear today what had actually happened during the game. It seems to be after the match when you're hearing from all these pundits and when you're hearing from like Levein, because during the game Michael Stewart was adamant it was a goal, but now after the game you're hearing all these different pundits' opinions. Well, I feel like with the Tillman one, it was pretty much everyone was saying Rangers should give a goal back, and they did. And I think that would Rangers have gave a goal back today, but I think it's not their fault. But again, the Partick Thistle incident wasn't their fault, so it's intriguing. But what's really going to happen out of this? The SFA have doubled down. They're double dipping, Essie. They're not going to backtrack.
No, they're double dipping. Dessers said the following on the situation. He says, quote, "For me, I got the ball in my pathway and he stepped on my foot and it hurt. For me, it was not a foul, and if it was the other way because he stepped on my foot. I didn't try to trip him or anything. He stepped on my foot, end of quote. So Dessos is just talking about the actual incident revolving the foul. And I agree with Dessos. I don't think that Dessos has fouled Jack Sanders, but the foul is no longer the issue. The foul is not what I think people are debating. Nobody, I don't believe, is saying that Dessos has fouled Sanders. I don't think anybody believes that it's a foul on Sanders. What everyone is saying is the referee has indicated that he's stopping the game for the foul. The referee has pointed, he stopped, he's looking at the incident. You got multiple St Johnstone players and pundits claiming the referee blew the whistle before the goal even went in. So that's the issue, not the fact that Dessos done anything wrong. And Dessos obviously adamant he didn't do anything wrong, which is correct because, I don't think Dessos fouled Jack Sanders, and if anything, it is Jack Sanders kicking the back of Dessos. So I think Dessos is spot on there.
No, Dessos is spot on, but this is just going to continue because it's got Rangers involved. We've seen, a couple of weeks ago with Partick Thistle against Motherwell, they didn't let them bring on a sub, which could have changed the game, and it turns out they were well within their rights to bring on a sub, and look at that got swept under the carpet. Obviously, this game involves Rangers, it's a bit more high profile, but it's not. People will think, it's just the SFA favouring Rangers, but this ain't Rangers' fault. It's just having a governing body that couldn't run a bath, and it affects every team.
Yeah, agreed. Clement said to Premier Sports afterwards, quote, "I haven't seen the images back, but I had a feeling that the ref felt that Cyril had made a foul." End of quote. So that was Clement on it. Not really offering much there. Clement also went on to say that this was a super important win today, but quote, "We won 2-0 and it should have been 5-0 or 5-1. End of quote. I don't think this was a 5-0 game to Rangers. I'm not seeing that. Yes, Rangers had a couple of chances in the first half that they didn't take and they should have did better, but St Johnstone also had chances. So yeah, this isn't really related to the disallowed goal or the goal that stood, but to me, Clement saying it should have been 5-0 today, I'm not seeing that. And also, since Clement thinks it's 5-0, what's your thoughts on the Rangers players going over and basically celebrating in front of the fans? Did you see that? Do you think that was a wee bit over the top? Apparently it was planned. It was like a planned emotional celebration. I've seen BBC labelling at us or Premier Sports labelling at us.
Well, I haven't seen it, but again, why are they doing it?
The Rangers The Rangers players went
on its knees.
They jumped over the advertising boards. They went over to the fans and they huddled around each other. Well, not a Celtic huddle, but they linked with their arms around each other and they started doing a bouncy for about a minute straight.
This is legit.
This is legit. I've seen a lot of people claim that why are Rangers acting like they've won the league, or they've won the cup, or they've won a European trophy. All they've done is won a home tie against St Johnstone in the last 16. It was a strange celebration, but apparently it was planned. This celebration was planned. I don't know if it's for morale or something, but I thought it was a strange celebration. You didn't see it?
I didn't see it, but you know what? Obviously it's true. No one's made this up.
Well, no, there's video footage of it.
That's what I'm saying. It's not made up. That's embarrassing. I think that just goes to show how far Rangers have fallen that we're fucking celebrating a 2-0 victory against St Johnstone like that. To me that's Phil contradicting himself, because one minute he's saying we could have won 5-0. Should the team not be a bit disappointed that they've only won 2-0 against St Johnstone, but there they are fucking doing circles and doing mad celebration. Rangers could have won 9-0 today, right, playing the best football we've seen this fucking millennium. It wouldn't have been a cause to do that.
Yeah, I know it. I don't really get it. But we'll give the final word back to Craig Levein, because after speaking to Premier Sports and other media outlets, he obviously went to do his post-match interview press conference, and this is what he had to say. about the game, and he says that he was bamboozled. His staff, his players, they all can't believe what happened. And he also said previously in an interview with Premier Sports that he didn't want to say too much. He didn't want to speak on the incident because he would be banned and he'd be fined. But I guess he changed his mind between getting from the Premier Sports interview to the press conference, because Craig Levein said the following, quote, "What the fuck happened there? Does anybody know? Can anybody help me with it? I didn't speak to the referee. What's the point? I've been there 100 times and I end up getting fined and then doubling my fine and then doubling it again. Some of the players said he blew the whistle, but how could you hear? I don't know. I tried to listen back to it on the footage, but I can't tell. I thought it was a foul for us. I thought that Jack had been tripped by Dessers and that's why he was on the ground. So I thought there's no danger here. They're going to rule this out because Jack's been fouled. Everybody stopped because of one or two things. Either they heard the whistle or they saw the referee giving us a free kick. I think the referee's made a mistake and I'd love him to come out afterwards and just say, look, I've got that one wrong, but I'm going to get in trouble if I keep going. I find it very difficult to understand what has happened today and the logic behind that. The manner in which we lost the game today was just puzzling." End of quote. So that's Craig Levein. That's his final thoughts on the matter. And Big Stevie Cool, what's your final thoughts on the matter?
I mean, it's just a mess at the end of the day. Like, it's just, what is there to say? It's like, no matter what Rangers do, even though it's got nothing really to, I mean, it's got everything to do with Rangers, but it's not their fault. It's like, everything Rangers do this season is just fucking a disaster.
It is, it's not great.
There's nothing short of talking points. Like, you think, oh, this will be a long weekend between now and the Ross County game. This is going to drag on. And the only thing I will say is, it's probably better that it happened to St Johnstone, because see if this happened to Rangers or like Celtic, this would be getting blown up much more than what it is.
Yeah, 100%. I said that if that goal never happened, that I could have seen this game going to extra time and possibly penalties. Do you think there's any thoughts on that? Because I've seen a few comments saying that I'm talking absolute shit and that the game was never in doubt. But I mean, for me, I thought this could have been a 0-0. I think it had 0-0 written all over it. There wasn't. I think in the second half there was less quality going forward than in the first half.
I mean, I don't know how people can say you're talking shit, because if this doesn't go in, it's 0-0. Therefore, St Johnstone don't need to push for an equaliser. Therefore, it doesn't open it up at the back for Rangers to make it 2-0. So, I would say, yes, you're well within your rights to think that. Were Rangers better in the second half? Yes. Did the substitution to make Rangers play better? Yes. But this Rangers team's shite. No, there's no guarantees with it anymore. You know, people are just saying that to deflect from the fact that, oh, we can't say that because that'll make it sound like we needed this dodgy goal to beat St Johnstone. Reality is, it's not Rangers' fault, but without this dodgy goal, well, fuck knows, Rangers could be it.
Yep, could be out. Craig Levein. I knew he was going to be pissed off by this. He was going to be vocal about it, and I'm not surprised. I mean, 1 minute he's saying he's not going to say anything, and then the next minute he's pretty much accepting that there's a fine coming his way.
But see, right, there's nothing. See, as a Rangers fan, right, there's nothing wrong with admitting this is a dodgy goal, but it's not Rangers' fault. People need to. There's a different. This is a dodgy goal. Obviously, they're going to follow it, but it's not Rangers' fault. It's a complete fuck up for the referee. I don't understand why people just can't admit it. People are just trying to deflect from the fact that, if we admit that we might have been in trouble for that goal going our way, that's going to make it look like, well, we needed that goal. Yeah, Rangers kind of did need that goal, because if they don't make it 1-0 there, it's like, right, what's next? Only won 2-0. As I said at the start of the video, this wasn't to make it 4-0. This wasn't to make it 5-0. This was to make it 1-0 for 0-0.
Yeah, game was on a knife edge, and I mean, it was looking like it could have went either way. Obviously, Rangers were favourites to win it, but I mean, at 0-0, anything can happen.
Absolutely anything can happen, but I think that's where we're going to leave it, guys. I'm sure this will be getting talked about for the entirety of the week, and unless something mental happens tomorrow or something.
Craig Levein's fine. Will it be confirmed tomorrow? Will he have to wait till Monday? I guess we'll have to wait and see, but it's official, guys. Rangers are into the quarter-final. St Johnstone are going home. And yeah, we will catch you tomorrow for the rest of the League Cup action. Till next time, though, been Fog Football. We'll catch you in the next one. Peace.